Okay, guys, let's go over the options in GSA Search Engine Ranker. So we're going to click on Options, and this is going to be the basic settings or the options that are actually going to control how things work on the software and exactly what it does. So it's important that we get these settings set correctly. Okay, the good thing about this is like I told you before, we're going to be able to export a template. So each time you create a new campaign, you'll be able to import this options template, so you don't have to select the options over and over again. And I'll show you how to do that. Actually, I will give you a template um, for this. So okay, so let's get started with the option. Okay, so let's take a look at this first option. You can see by default that it's unchecked. And that's talking about pausing the project after so many submissions and registrations. Now, the way or the time that you would want to use that is if you are using, or if you're not using proxies, or if you are only using a couple of proxies. It's a good idea to check that and maybe stop it for, a time period here, so that will keep you from anybody or any of the search engines from blocking your proxies. Okay, so if you have a good number of proxies, say 20 or more, and they're private proxies, then normally you do not have to check this. Okay, so you'll just use your own discretion on that. Okay, the next box is going to be check. We want to ask all services to use or to fill the captchas for us. Okay, so we're going to check that box, and it will use the captcha services that you provide or any captcha software that you provide. Okay, now the next box is custom retry. We set this in the global settings in the options, or the other options we set earlier, so you can leave this unchecked. Now this is important. Right here where it says if a form field cannot be filled, right now it's set to ask user, so it will ask you if a form cannot be filled. The problem with that is that it will require a lot of human interaction or intervention, or intervention on your part, which means that you are not usually able to just to let the software run and minimize it, because it's going to be popping up things and asking you things all the time. What I do is I set this to choose random, okay, or just skip it. But I usually set this to choose random. So if the software doesn't know how to fill out a field, we want to just use random. That way we have a chance of getting it right at least. Okay, and it won't give you pop-ups. Okay, skip hard to solve captchas. If you are using a second-rate captcha solving service, you may want to do this, but I just keep that unchecked because we want to try to solve all of them. Okay, so enable custom mode, we just leave that unchecked. We can talk about that later, but just leave it unchecked. Verified links must have exact URL. This should be checked by default, and you want to leave it checked. Okay, here where it says automatically export verified URLs, it's a good idea to check this box because we want to know what our verified URLs are. These are verified URLs, are URLs that have been verified to have a link linking back to your site. This can also be used when setting up tier 2, 3, and 4 campaigns. So you want to check that box, and it's going to ask you where to download or where to save those URLs. Okay, so just make a folder. So just make a folder and just call it verified URLs. Okay, and you're going to name the file whatever your project is. So let's say this is interior design. Well, you don't even need to do that. Just put the name of your project and click save. Okay, you want to have those. Okay, you're going to leave it set to automatically. Okay, you're going to leave this unchecked. Now I leave this unchecked. You can have the software to go back and then check them again to verify that your links are still there. There's really not a whole lot of use for this, but it's totally up to you. I recommend just to leave it unchecked. Okay, so the next box is send verified link to indexer services. We want to keep that checked. Now, it's going to have the GSA SEO indexer checked by default. Now that is a software that you must purchase. So if you don't have that, um, just leave it checked. But just keep in mind that is a software. Even if you don't have it, you can use the built-in indexer. So just leave both of these checked. If you have another indexing service like Linkalicious or something like that, check this box. Otherwise, just leave these at default, just to make sure and check this box to send links to indexer services. Do not check this box, use character spinning. Do not check that. Okay, we're going to check the box to randomly have typos or spell errors. You can leave that at 10%. We're going to check the next box. Place a URL within the anchor text. And we're not going to check the last box. Okay, the next is tags. You can use keywords. You can use your keywords or your anchor text. Most time for your tags, you're probably going to use your keywords in most cases. Okay, so now we're going down to how to get target URLs. This is pretty important. These settings are not going to be the same for every person, simply because of geographical locations of everybody, and what type of or what language countries you're wanting to get traffic from. So that's going to be you're going to be having to decide what that is for yourself on this. So just for an example, let's say your site is in English, okay, and so you want to get customers who speak English. So what we can do is, in this area, just put your mouse in this area and right click, and you have all these options: check all, check none, sort by check state. Okay, you can also check by country and check by language. Okay, so what I would normally do is check by language or check by country. So I'm going to check by language, and I'm just going to choose English. Now, if you have a site that is promoting products that all kinds of people that might be interested in, if you have a site that your visitors can translate from, there's some things in browsers that allow people to translate from. So use your own discretion at this. But how to choose this is right-clicking and then choose by all of your options here, and check the ones that you think would be right for your site. So when I right-clicked and choose for English, it selects all of the countries that have English speaking there in the country. So that's what that does. Okay, we're going to check the box to have now this is you're going to get some people that say, let me close this real quick here, where it says where'd it go, always use keywords to find targets. Okay, so you're going to get some people that say not to do this or not to check this. Okay, and then you're going to have people say that you want to do this. So if you do check that, you'll get a pop-up box. Because here's the thing, your keywords that you have there, your keywords, different footprints or different platforms may not be using those keywords to find content. So what it's telling you is you're going to get less results or less opportunities to leave a link, simply because if it uses your keywords, it may not be able to find a target. Okay, so the idea is that you want to get links that are closely related to your niche. Basically quality. You want quality links that are niche related. So this is going to be up to you whether you want to do this or not. If you uncheck it, you're going to get more links. If you have it checked, you're going to get less links, but they're going to be better links. So I like to check it. I want to go ahead. I want to use my keywords. That's why it's important in the data settings that we did earlier to put some general keywords in there that are niche related. Okay, so that you have enough targets to find. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this and leave this checked, is to use my keywords. I don't want any unrelated links. Okay, your next option is use URLs from global site list if enabled. You can just leave these checked because we don't have that enabled right now. That will be later. Okay, so if we do multiple campaigns in the future, that's where this would come into effect. So you can just leave that checked because we have it disabled. Okay, you can leave the next one checked, and we're going to check this last box to analyze and post to competitor backlinks. The next section is schedule posting. We're not going to post to the same site more than one time, simply because we're only using one URL. If your promotion, your project that you set up and you use multiple URLs, then you could check this. But in this case, for this example, I'm only promoting one URL, which was the post on my site. So I'm going to leave that unchecked. Okay, you can leave all of this set to default. You don't need to worry about any of this. Our next section is filter URLs. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and check this box. Okay, so what that's going to do is skip sites that have more than a certain amount of outgoing links on one page. Remember, this is another option that goes back to quality over quantity. Okay, so if there's a lot of links going out on a site, you may not necessarily want to add your link to all of those others because they're not given as much precedence, or not precedence, but they're not given much attention or authority from Google. Basically what I'm trying to say. So you want to leave this at 100, or you can bump it up to say 150 or so, but you want to do that. You don't want to put your link on a site that has a bunch of other outgoing links. Okay, we're going to check this one, which skips sites with a PR below, and we're going to leave this at 1. Okay, and we're not going to check the next box. We're going to check this box to skip unknown PR. Okay. Now, this next box says try to skip creating no follow links. Now, I do not do this. I don't want to skip those because if we're only posting to do follow sites or trying to get do follow links, that looks unnatural. So we want to get a few of the no follow links so we can keep everything looking as natural as possible to get the best results. So we're going to check. Actually, we're not going to do that. We're not going to check that. And we're going to check avoid posting to subdomain sites, and we're going to check the second box, and we're going to leave that unchecked. So the next box is talking about keywords on the site. What I do is I normally don't check this, okay, because we are going to rely on the software getting finding targets that are niche related because we're told the software to use our keywords. Okay, so we don't want to hamstring ourselves too much by checking this box. Where it says type of backlinks to create, we're going to go ahead and just probably won't do forum. We'll keep forum post off, and we'll click article wiki. Okay, and then leave everything else the way it is. Okay, so down below that, we're going to skip sites when the following words appear and click check. Now, these are bad words. Now, the thing is, you may not have anything in here when you first start your software, so I will give you a list of these bad words, and then you can click add or import and import those words in here. So let me just show you how to do that. We're going to click on import, and you'll have a list of bad words on a notepad file, so you just select that and click open, and it will import all of those here. It's very important that you do this. Please do not skip this. Make sure to import those words. Okay, we're going to check this box, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choose that and open. Okay, so we have both of these boxes checked. Now the next option is skip sites from the following countries. Okay, so we're going to check the box, and again I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose check by language, and I'm going to choose a few that I do not want. Okay, so right click and choose that way. Okay, here we're going to do the same thing. Actually, we don't need to do this because we've already chose our other options. Okay, so at that point, your options for your project are set. Now again, when you set these options, you can also click Tools and export those. You can export data fields in the options, which that's what this is. You can also export a template, which is everything. Okay. So the reason why you want to do this, if you're going to run projects that are going to be set up the same and the only thing that's going to change is the URLs that you're promoting, it's a good idea to maybe export a template so you can just start up and get started right away. Okay, so to do that, you're just going to export, and we're going to call this you can just name it whatever you like. Okay, next we're going to go to email verification. Okay, so the software puts an email in for you, and it's an actually working email. Okay, it's what's called a catch-all email. Now, you can use this email if you like, but it's always better to what I like to do is create an email address on my on one of my domains. Okay, so you have an option. You can use this, or I'm going to show you how to create a new email. So what I'm going to do is create a email on my domain. Now, depending on how I run a lot of SEO campaigns. Okay, so what I did was I went and bought just a .info, a 99-cent domain, and I installed a control panel on that on my hosting provider just for emails. Now you probably don't need to do that. So what you want to do, I'm going to go and log into one of my cPanel accounts. Okay, so here I'm in my cPanel account, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to email accounts. I'm going to go ahead and create a new email account. Okay, so just create you an email account. Now here's the thing, you can use the same email account for multiple campaigns, because the software will go through and clean out your inbox for you. It'll delete all the old emails, so you can use one email address for all of your campaigns. Okay, so you just want to take your email address, go back to your software. Okay, so once back on your software, you're going to click on Add, and we're going to enter manually. I'm going to paste the email there. Okay, usually it will autofill all of these details for you. You'll need to put in your password. Okay, if it doesn't fill in the files, you can click here and it will find the settings that you need. Okay, so paste your email here, and then it will automatically fill these fields, or click Find Settings. Now once you have this in, you want to come back up here in this area. You're going to uncheck this box, because you're not going to be using the catch-all, you're going to be using your own. And we're just going to click on Test, and we're going to click Selected, and it will tell you that it was all successful. Okay, we're going to come down to this box, and we'll go ahead and check the time to wait. We're not going to check use proxies, and we're going to leave this checked to delete message when verification link was found. And if you're going to be using the same email, okay, remember, like I said, you can use the same email for multiple projects. Don't check this box, okay? If you're only using one email per project, then you can check this. Okay, and we're going to leave this last box checked. Okay, and these tabs, notes, and external APIs, we're not going to be dealing with. Okay, you won't be, a 99% chance you won't be dealing with these. In that case, everything is set up, your project is ready for you to start, and all you have to do is click OK. And it will give you a pop-up. And if it does tell you this, we need to go back and set another setting. Here where we were talking about the global site list, we're going to uncheck that. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, now it's time to start your campaign. You want to make sure that it's active. Okay, you can see this is the one we're working on right now. You can ignore all these other ones. This is the one we're working on. So I'm going to right click where it says set status. I'm going to choose active. Okay, Now there's a lot of other options you can do when you right click. You can set a priority. What that means, if you have multiple projects and you want one to have more priority than the others, you can do select a priority for it. Show URLs. You can have the software show you the submitted URLs for the project. You can see the verified links and then other options. You can have the software show you a diagram of what's been done with the campaign. Okay, and then you can do some others. Right now we're going to make this active, which we already done, and then all we have to do is click start. The software will start up and everything will be done and taken care of for you. Now you can minimize this campaign or create another campaign or project. I hope you enjoyed this training. We'll do some more advanced training if needed, but that is the best way to use the software. Thank you.